Are you struggling to regain sustainability in your life and create a positive life stance? If so, listen in as courageous women share their empowering struggle of how they came through the trenches to restart and recreate a victorious life worth living. They took their power back. Learn the secrets of how they did it, and you can too. Welcome to the Real Heart Talk podcast and 360 Network for Women. And here's your host, Pamela Duran.
Welcome, Real Heart Talk listeners. You are enough. I am happy to bring to you tonight Miss Cassandra Mitchell, affectionately known as Loyalty. As a devoted mother to 3 daughters and a nurturing caregiver to her niece and father, she embodies resilience and determination. Despite becoming a teenage mother at 17, Cassandra refused to let circumstances define her. She pursued education fervently, earning her high school diploma, a trade in business clerical, an associate's degree in business management, and ultimately a bachelor's of science in human relations. All right. Woo! And in 2020, Cassandra embarked on her podcasting journey with the Loyalty and Friends Self-Love podcast. I love that name. Advocating for the importance of self-worth and healthy relationships, her passion for fostering loyalty in all aspects of life led her to publish her debut book, Loyalty in Everything, a guide to building strong relationships in business and life, which emphasizes the pivotal role of loyalty and effective communication and relation. Man, that sounds like that could transform the world, loyalty. And then in October 2023, Cassandra established the LIE Foundation, dedicated to uplifting underserved communities by offering support and opportunities for a brighter future. Her commitment to making a difference extends to her recent publications, the Loyalty and Everything from A to Z children's book. I love it. Now we're targeting their future generations. And the I Am Affirmations Coloring Book, both launched in April 2024, with all proceeds contributing to the foundation's noble cause. Welcome, Loyalty. So happy to have you with us.
Well, thank you, Pamela. It is a pleasure to be right here on your network. I'm very excited about this.
I know. I love that we are in alignment with trying to help and empower and raise up women and our next generation to make a difference. And that's what I want to do. Now, tell us about, you are the example of resilience and perseverance. You just powered on through, got your bachelor's degree. That is such an accomplishment. I applaud you for that, especially having young children at that age and then just continuing on. That is wonderful.
Yes, and not only that, I was one of the first in my generation to actually complete and get my bachelor's degree. So not only was I a teenage mom, that was a big, viable part for me in my success story. I had to make sure. And for me, of course, I would say college is not for everyone. True. College definitely is not for everyone, but it is for a select few, So
Yeah.
I just wanted to do that to prove to my girls that no matter what you have going on in life, you can still be successful. Okay.
Yeah.
And nothing can stop you, no obstacles, even including a teenage pregnancy. So
I love that. And did you have your family support, parent support at that time when you were going through your teenage pregnancy?
Very limited support. I will say, where I was at that point in my life was very different. So I was kind of going through my own stages of figuring out who I was. I was only 17. So that kind of got me back grounded. Getting pregnant with my daughter, it definitely, put my whole thought process in a whole nother, perspective, because not only am I responsible for me at this point, I'm responsible for a whole other human being. So for me, that's really what got me motivated to do what was necessary so I could, complete school. Because I wanted to let my children know, again, the sky was the limit. no one can stop you but you. You stop your own success. No one
Oh,
else.
yes, you bet on you. Nobody compares. You are the best. You. And
Absolutely.
you are leaving an example for your children, blazing that trail. So that is wonderful. So
Absolutely.
tell us, after school, okay, so what did you start? What endeavors? Now we talk about things that we've overcome. So if you want to share, I know teenage pregnancy is a big deal. That's something to
Ooh,
overcome and through and power on through to get your degrees too. So if that or something else that you want to share, to help our listeners know that they're not in it alone. Other people have came through where they are and made it to the other side, and they're going to make it to the other side too. So what would you like to share?
absolutely. Absolutely, yes. So I would say, I've had quite a bit of obstacles throughout my lifetime. I would say, especially being a part of the underprivileged, underserved community. And just seeing that from that lens, being a little girl growing up, we had some true obstacles, and some maybe didn't seem as much as obstacles when we were younger because you really couldn't see it through your child lens. But as you become and get into your adulthood, it becomes a lot more clear, and you start to see the needs and the concerns of the community. So I would say prior to 2020, I wasn't even loyalty. I didn't know I wasn't this version of myself I am now. So I look at loyalty more as a rebirthing for myself, of course, and that's what most people know me as. That's how they identify me. So of course, my name is Cassandra Mitchell. That's my birth given name, but I feel like I had a rebirth in 2020, and this all happened from a tragic that I literally had to turn into purpose, turn my pain into purpose. I lost my brother in 2020. He actually transitioned on my daughter's sweet 16th birthday, which was February the 3rd, 2020. So that day in history changed my entire life. Okay. That was my person. I lost my person. Everybody got that one person that just, that you feel like you can confide in, who's always showing up for you, who's trustworthy, who's just there. That is your person that you truly trust. That was my brother. And so losing him, and unfortunately he fell asleep at the wheel and veered off the highway, that was his, that's how he transitioned. And that was hard to deal with in itself because he didn't die at the hands of anyone else. He died, he fell asleep. Anyone can fall asleep. So I would tell you, if your body's telling you that you're tired or whatever, take that moment. Don't attempt to push it to the next mile because that could be your last mile. Okay. So I'm very, very intentional with that. And just the message alone, because sometimes we overdo it. We'll work our bodies till we work it, till we work it, till we can't work it no more. And now our bodies are in overload and now we're exhausted. So for me, because I was in such a very low state, I was in depression and it was hard. I had to figure out, like, I can't keep doing this every day because I was dying slowly. How do I turn that pain into purpose? I started really going to God and really just figuring out, like, what is his mission for my life? Get out of my own way, because guess what? I've been attempting my way for the longest, okay? And I've been getting the same results. But when you start attempting something different and try his way, you've been doing it all along, what's the worst that can happen, right? You might get something good out of it. And that's what happened for me. And I just kept hearing him telling me, utilize your voice, Queen. You have a powerful voice. You're going to lead so many people to greatness through your voice. So use your voice. Continue to speak life into others. And so that's what that's my mission every single day, is to uplift my brothers and sisters, because I was that sister who needed to be uplifted at one point. Right. So I just thank God for his mission and his vision for my life, because it wasn't me. And of course, as you stated, I started my podcast, of course, in 2020, and that progressed. I built an amazing, amazing community on Clubhouse. I met some amazing people all over the world. That's where it started. Then I transitioned over to the Owl app. Okay. And Pamela, I remember we had a conversation on Owl. That's how we even here having this conversation today. So that's the power of what an app can do. Okay. Owl, OWWLL. And when I tell you, shout out to Jason for his vision, because guess what? That all came through God as well, because without him, I wouldn't have been connected with the other people I needed to connect with to be further along in my journey. So outside of the podcast, I started getting consistent with it. Then I was able to get the nonprofit off the ground because I knew I'm a giver and I had to figure out a way, how can I service people on the magnitude level that I needed to, where I can really use my voice to the maximum potential of its ability. So yes, that's where the nonprofit came. And now I got these amazing literatures. Okay. We want to inspire our youth. We want to upbuild a community. So affirmations is important because that teaches us how we speak to ourselves. Okay. How are you speaking to yourself daily? Okay. We got to tune out the noise. We don't want to get stuck in that depressive stage or anxiety and things. Not saying that those things do not exist, but how we move forward and how we choose to deal with them is what really matter. Okay. So we start with how we speak to ourselves. Start speaking positivity, and that way you can get your strength. Okay. So yes, I have the I Am Affirmations Coloring Book to inspire our children from A to Z. And then we're going to go back and teach them loyalty, because loyalty is very, very important. Okay. I believe in loyalty in everything, Pamela. Okay. And so if you
Yeah.
don't mind, I would love to break that down just in a few. All right. Because loyalty and everything is very important. Okay.
Yeah, no, I want you to break it down. I want to say, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I know
Thank
that that was very painful for you. I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing that, because I know that must be hard to talk about. So thank you. And thank you for turning your pain into purpose. Everyone listening, do you hear what she said? She's turning her pain into purpose. So what is your pain today that you can turn into purpose? And she is going to share with us. And I'm so thankful because we can cast down those imaginations. You were talking about getting in depression and listening to those negative. You've got to have that positive self-talk. You've got to have those affirmations, because you have to cast down those imaginations and renew your mind daily. It's a daily thing. Just like when we sleep, it really does renew our mind. But we also take those affirmations, take the word, just keep speaking it, because we're creators. We're made to create. And when we speak, we create. So tell us, share with us some of the A to Z's you were going to share.
Yeah, so let's speak about loyalty and everything, okay? And this is where my inspiration come from for the children's book, loyalty. We want to teach them loyalty in everything from A to Z. That means in everything we do, right? So for me, it starts with God. That is the head. That is the source. Everything I do, I must consult with Him first, because He is my guide. And so when I serve Him and I serve His mission and I give Him the gratitude and the glory that He truly deserves, that set the way for every other relationship up under that umbrella for me. Okay. I'm not here to force religion on anyone. So I want to clarify that, of course, because that's not my mission, but that's just who I believe in. Okay. That's an I statement. Now, let's
Yeah.
take it further. Now it's about loyalty and self, loyalty in me. Because if I don't put myself first and build me to the highest of level first, then it's going to make it hard and difficult for me to pour and build others up. Okay. So make sure you're creating an overflow for yourself. Do not pour from your full cup. Again,
Yeah.
hear me. Do not pour from your full cup, because once you pour from it, it's no longer full, right? So what we need to do is create that overflow. So now we have an abundance that we can pour into others from. So that's how we keep going. We got to keep refueling us through affirmation, through self-love, through knowing what your self-worth is. That is so important. So the more we build us, the more we're going to be able to build others. Okay. So you have to say the necessary no's now. You can say the big yeses later, and don't feel guilty about it. Say it with confidence, okay? Because you know that no today is going to be a huge yes later, right? Now that's going to teach us how to be loyal to others. How do we choose to be? How do we be loyal to others? Is really by holding our brothers and sisters accountable. Hold them accountable for what they say they're going to do. We have to start doing that, okay? I'm a big believer in teaching people how to fish. Don't always give them the fish, because then they're going to keep coming to you for the fish. They don't know how to
Mm.
fish for themselves. So again, make sure you're teaching people how to fish. That's going to teach longevity. Okay. It's going to teach a better lesson for them, and they can take that further along in life with them. Now, also, if your brother and sister is down, don't kick them while they're down. We want to uplift and empower. Okay. So make sure, if you don't have the resources and the tools, send them in the path or the direction where they can get those resources and tools. And last but not least, we want to be loyal to what we choose to digest, whether it's food or knowledge. Okay. So I say that because our bodies are our temples. The more you take care of your body, and we speak in mind, body, and spirit, we're not just speaking about food, but mind, body, and spirit. You want to take care of your body completely. The more you take care of your body, the more it's going to take care of you. So you want to reciprocate to your body what you want your body to give to you, so you can create that abundance and longevity. And then that takes us into loyalty to knowledge, what we choose, the knowledge that we intake. All knowledge is not good knowledge. So we have to make sure that we're taking that knowledge with discernment, making sure we're eating the meat, spitting out the bones. Eat the good knowledge that's going to feed your soul and your mission and the vision that God has intended upon your life. And if it's going to devalue you or it has no purpose or in your story, spit it out. Stop holding on to mess. So that's what loyalty and everything stands for me. And I'm telling you, when we start to be more loyal in our journey, more transparent in how we approach people and in our walk, guess what? People are going to know who we are, and that's how you're going to find your tribe of people. So we want to be loyalty in everything, loyalty and adventure. These are a few of them that's in the book. We got loyalty and adventure. We have loyalty and gratitude, right? Loyalty in conclusion, loyalty in your memories. We want to instill this back into the community. So that's what it's about.
Yes, I love that. I want to go back to the one that you were talking about, loyal to others, to hold accountable, teach people how to treat you. I always thought you were going to say teach people how to treat you, treat yourself. You have to you have to hold people accountable of how you want to be treated as well. I know that may not be in your book, but we need to also think about that we're teaching
you're right,
people
Pamela,
how to treat us.
You're
Yeah.
right. And to what you're saying, right? How you treat yourself is going to teach people how to treat you. Okay.
Exactly.
Because if you don't value you, or you don't value yourself first, so it still kind of goes back into what you're saying. Be loyal to yourself first.
Yes.
Because you being loyal to you, putting yourself on that pedestal, they're gonna see it in your walk because you're happy. You're loving yourself, okay? You're speaking highly of yourself. So guess what? Others are gonna speak highly of you. So you have to teach others how to treat you. And you do that through how you
Yes.
treat yourself.
Yes, because it all starts within. It's inside out. It's an inside job. How we
Absolutely.
treat ourselves is going to come out. Yeah, I love those loyalty guides or chapters that you have in there. And in the book, does it also cover like effective communication, or do you have that in a separate book?
So for the children's book, it's more, I kept it on a more something that children can understand. So perfect example, we got loyalty and leadership in the children's book, okay? And then we tell a little story about it, nothing much, but just to give a little context behind it. So it says, in the kingdom of kindness, loyalty grows strong as friends show compassion and care for each other. So we want them to see what loyalty and leadership looks like, okay? Now, to do what you're saying, I do have in a book for adults as well. That's the loyalty and everything, a guide to building strong relationships in business and life. Okay. Now I feel like relationships fail a lot of time because of the lack of loyalty, which stems from a lack of communication. Okay. So if we can get back to
Yeah.
being more loyal in how we deal with others and how we communicate, that's going to help strengthen relationships overall, whether it's in our business life or our personal life. So those are a lot of the key concepts I speak about in that particular book. Now, this book I feel like is better for someone, maybe a youth up to adults, can comprehend any adults. And some of our young youth, I would say maybe teenagers, this would be more on their comprehension level. But yes, we talk about trust through loyalty, building trust through loyalty. That's one of the chapters. We talk about navigating loyalty in professional relationships. We're talking about balancing loyalty and self-interest. Okay, there has to be a balance. The role of communication and loyalty, which is very important, right? Teaching loyalty to the next generation. How are we going to do that? So this book here is very powerful. It's 20 chapters total. Okay. We even talk about the dark side of loyalty because there's everything is not always good. We want to know all ends of that. And loyalty as a two-way street. It's a two-way street when it comes to it. Right. So these are some of the principles I speak about in the book to really kind of create that environment and get us back to the right path. We have to be, and when I spoke about loyalty and leadership, right? That's one of the chapters in the adult book as well. So that must be something very important. There must be loyalty even in your leadership.
Yes, most definitely. And to start teaching that at the young age from the A to Z's of loyalty, everything, and then bringing that into the loyalty and relationship. But I could see you doing a master class loyalty and having, do 2 of these a week for 10 weeks. I mean, I can see that happening and you people signing up and you just teach them all together, on a webinar. That would be amazing because this is definitely needed in society today.
Absolutely. And I see this, so much more stemming from just this in particular, because we have to get back to conditioning how we treat ourselves and how we treat others, and how we pour into ourselves and how we pour into others. That set the way for
Yes.
everything. The world is big, there's no competition. Listen, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
A lot of us do a lot of the same things, right? But I always say what separates us is our story, because we are all on a separate journey that has been purposely given to each and
Yeah.
every one of us. Someone may not understand your vision and your
Mhm.
journey because guess what? It wasn't given to them. It wasn't meant for them to understand, and that's okay. The ones who are supposed to understand it and the ones who are supposed to support you in that journey, it's gonna come together. But you have to work on your transparency, work on your communication skills, make sure you're working on that loyalty and everything that you do, so you can see that in more of a, I would say, organic way, because you want organic support.
Yes, you do. And so for our listeners out there that may be in the same place where you are, maybe they're, a teen, maybe not a teen, but maybe they're pregnant, they're having a baby, we're doing it by themselves. What would you tell them are the steps that you started taking, or what was your realization to, okay, is it that I have this little baby I have to take care of? What am I going to do? Or what steps did you take? And what was your thought process just to move on to the next step and not get stuck in that spin cycle?
Well, I would tell any young girl, young mother out there who maybe was in my same shoes, for one, tune out the noise. Tune out the noise. Focus on you, your mission, and your vision, because no matter what your situation look like, that's just a situation. It does not depict or define who you are today. So I'm going to tell you, tune out the noise. I had a good friend who motivated me, who said something very dearly to me, and it changed my thought process. So don't worry about who's clapping. Don't worry about who's parading for you. And don't worry about who's booing or praying for your demise. Just continue doing. Have tunnel vision so serious that you're not even concerned with what the world has going on, because you're stuck on your mission. Okay. And that's the way you be the most successful. And no one else can stop you but you. You are your own
Yeah.
biggest downfall. No one can stop you but you.
Yeah. I love that focus. That's actually been my word. One year it was my word for the whole year, but I do keep it in the back of my mind as Terminator focus because I love the movie. I mean, when you have Terminator focus, you're looking up all the Sarah Connors in the book. You're looking up everything. You're going to see them. You are making
Absolutely.
action on whatever it is that you're taking that Terminator focus. So just like you said, get drilled in and focused in on your
Mhm.
mission. And the situation is temporary. It is temporary. And
Absolutely.
you go through those experiences so you can pour into others. And I love what you said earlier too about pouring from your I call it your saucer, not your cup. Your cup is full, but now you're pouring from the overflow or your saucer. There's a song about that.
Okay.
But I definitely agree. We need to get back to the basics, of life. There's a song that I sing called that, and where you're just love, your kindness, you're lifting up, you're being thoughtful of others, really serving and putting them first. And I feel like that is what your whole mission and purpose is really to bring them in, lift them up, train them up, send them out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
So what do you have next coming up? What big thing next do you have that people can find out about?
Yeah, so as y'all heard, yes, those children books, they definitely launched today. So today is a very special day, April 1st. The Loyalty and Everything from A to Z book, children's book, is out on Amazon, as well as the I Am Affirmations Coloring Book, which launched today as well. Those books are live on Amazon. You can also find my first book. Of course, this is for adults or youth for young youth, which is the Loyalty and Everything, a guide to building strong relationships in business and life. These are all on Amazon. You can search me from my author's page if you would like, which is Cassandra Mitchell. Or you can just search for Loyalty in Everything. I guarantee you nobody else is probably going to come up under that, okay? But yes, or go to my website, okay? Go to liefoundation.org. Please tap into the website, which is liefoundation.org. You can find out how you can become a sponsorship to support the nonprofit organization, which is going to help us build a lot of amazing programs here in the city of Atlanta, starting with the mentorship program for our youth between the ages of 10 to 24. If you have youth right now who are interested and would like to be a part of the LIE Foundation, we are looking for you for this mentorship program. I'm telling you, we are creating an environment for youth ran by youth. Okay. So every youth get an opportunity to be a leader, but it's a fun environment. We're going to do skating, bowling, all types of events. So this is something that we're building, but we need your help and your funds to do so. So go to liefoundation.org and tap out or check out those sponsorship packages, or you can donate or purchase a book, and those proceeds go directly to the nonprofit organization. So very excited about this new journey coming up ahead of us. Yes.
I love that. I love that you are making an impact for our future generations. We need more people, more disciples, more people moving forward and just caring about that, because they're going to be taking care of us one day. And we want to make sure that
Absolutely.
they are good. Uh, so what about, I have one last question. Oh my goodness. So is there anything else about your foundation? Tell us about, so the foundation is all centered around what you just said, right? Is anything else
Absolutely.
included?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's really to serve the underserved community. We're starting with the youth because I believe when you start with the youth, then that's gonna, put that special attention on the parents and everything else. So it is a family thing. So that's why I say community. We really want to focus on the community, but we're going to start with the youth. Okay. And so if you want to support a youth, purchase a book. We have sponsorships where you can purchase the books on a bigger level where we can actually donate these. I actually have my first event set up on April the 19th. Again, that's April the 19th. I'm looking for sponsors, people who love the children, who want to pour back into them, get them some amazing literature like the I Am Affirmations Coloring Book that's full of affirmations from A to Z. Each page has an affirmation and they get to color these, okay? And I made sure it was very inclusive of all children of all nationalities. I thought that was very important, as well as the loyalty and everything from A to Z. Purchase these, okay? That's going to help a child out here. And this is what it takes. We have to be the people on the ground to really do the work. So if you believe in the mission and you know it's a need in our community, please support. And again, you can go to the liefoundation.org. Again, that is liefoundation.org. And LIE stands for Loyalty in Everything.
Oh, gotcha. So April 19th event, is that live or virtual?
That is going to be a live event. Okay. So I will, for those who are not able to attend, because it's not something that everyone could just come out. It's going to be at a daycare, the daycare that my niece goes to. So if anyone knows the backstory for my niece, I'm taking care of raising my niece, who's about to be 4 years old. I've been raising her
Oh,
since she's been born. And yes, she's not my biological child, but I am her mother. And it's such an honor to not only have these books released right before her birthday so we can start getting the sales up, but I want to give some of these books to her daycare. So there are approximately 40 little 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. Yes, you heard me. 40 little 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And I am looking for people to help me purchase some of these books so we can get them to the babies for her birthday celebration. Okay. So yes, the I Am Affirmations Coloring Book is $4.99. Again, that's only $4.99, very affordable, as well as the Loyalty and Everything from A to Z Coloring Book is only $7.99. So that is a very affordable price to put one of these amazing literatures in one of those little bitty arms, right? So I'm looking forward. We're going to do a big celebration in honor of the release of the books, but to celebrate my niece Essence. Yes, what an
yeah.
amazing name, right? I Am Essence. Look, I love it.
What yes, an affirmation in her own name right there. So what you should do
Absolutely.
is record it while you're there, and then you could stream it live later on. I mean, stream it on your website later. I mean, if you wanted to do that, you don't have to.
Absolutely.
Question,
Oh, I will. I think it'll be an honor to have everyone a part of that journey because, this is not just me. This is our thing. This is our baby. So that would be the release of the books, but a great way we can give back to the community. We want to gift these books to those children. So again, if you are passionate about the youth and you want to be a part of this sponsorship that we're doing right now, tap in, go to the liefoundation.org. You will see some sponsorship packages. You can actually go directly and just purchase the books yourself, or you can actually do a donation, whichever you prefer. We have different options available, okay? But we want to gift these books, again, 40 books to 40 little 3 and 4 year olds for the birthday celebration of my niece, Essence.
That is awesome, Loyalty. I appreciate you so much being on and taking on the task of making the impact into our future generation, and for being loyal in everything and passing that on. And remember, listeners, she turned her pain into purpose, and listen to her. As Ed Milet says, be evangelical about your message. Have you heard her? She is evangelical about her message. And she is going to spread the loyalty, raise up that future generation, and help also our young adult to adult generation with loyalty and relationships. She's going to start that master class, so get ready. She's going to be announcing it soon, y'all. Thank you, Loyalty, so much. You need
Thank you. No, thank you so much for
Yes.
having me, Pamela. I look forward to meeting up. I know you're here in the Atlanta area. So, if you would love to support the foundation in any way, form, or fashion, we got to get it more people, get into more faces. Right now, I do have one more request, okay? If you're in the Atlanta
Okay.
area, if you know any children between the ages of around 12 to 19, we're looking at youth between the ages of 12 to 19. There is a actual facility that's here in Atlanta. It's very new, okay, and it is a part of a different nonprofit organization, but they're looking for some youth that are interested in videography, podcasting, or either music engineering, okay? And this is a free opportunity for the youth. They get to come out, and the date that is set is actually it's going to be April, from my understanding, I think it's April the 13th, okay, which is a week prior to my event. But April the 13th, we will be having those youth in the building. So we're looking for about 15 to 20 youth between the ages of 12 and 19 who would love to attend, okay? If you're interested, there is a contact me section on my website. You can go to liefoundation.org, fill that out. Just let me know, hey, we're interested in the youth event that's coming up on April 13th. And again, this is free, okay? We're actually raising funds for it now so we can have these type of resources for children, and all the equipment is there. And they just get to come in with instructors and learn how to do music videography as well as podcasting. So yeah, the engineering behind it.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Loyalty. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. Yeah. Remember, tune out the noise, people. Your situation is temporary, and focus on your mission. Don't get distracted with what's going on around you, because you do have an audience and you have a mission and a purpose just for you. All right, listeners, stay tuned for our next episode.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today on the 360 Network for Women and Real Heart Talk podcast. We're so happy you could join and hope you stay tuned for the next episode.